Hello everybody and welcome to the Football Insiders. This is going to be our Premier League predictions for Game Week 25. I'm joined by Brian and Rafe today. But before we start, make sure you head over to our channel, subscribe to the notification bell, and we do these Premier League predictions every game week. We try and score predictions and see who can get the best ones. So, straight into the video. We're going to start with my first three games. Wolves Leeds. I think this is going to be a very entertaining game because it always is every time Leeds play. And Wolves have been on some decent form recently. I think this is going to be 2-2. I think Leeds will probably a penalty, and a decent goal from Wolves, and just some nice attacking play from Leeds. I think this will be 2-2, and then Southampton Chelsea. And again, I can't remember how many times in a row now, but Chelsea to beat Southampton 3-0. I predict Chelsea 3-0 every time, and I'm going to keep doing it until they do it. But I think this could happen this time. Southampton really bad form recently. Again, a lot of injuries, and the opposite with Chelsea. So, yeah. And for Burnley West Brom, I think this game is going to be 0-0. Sean Dyche versus Sam Allardyce. This is going to be incredibly boring. It's going to be full of set pieces. The ball's not going to be on the ground for more than 5 minutes. Yeah, I think that's going to be 0-0. Brian, what do you think about Wolves Leeds?
Yeah, I expect Wolves to win like 3-2 or something. I just see Wolves winning 3-2, 2-1. I just I just don't see Leeds winning from being honest. I think Pedro Neto is gonna come up with another clutch performance. I mean, he's one of my favorite players if I'm being honest, Pedro Neto. But yeah, 3-2 Wolves, and then Southampton Chelsea, 3-1 Chelsea. Nah, actually I'll go 2-1. 2-1 Chelsea. I think I don't know, Southampton have just been unlucky with injuries recently, and the VAR screwing them over completely. And yeah, it's just gonna continue really. And for Burnley, West Brom, 1-1. Two set piece goals from each team. End of story. Rafe, your predictions.
Okay, so starting off with Wolves Leeds, obviously tonight's game. I think Leeds always put on a good show, and Wolves have might be able to push on now after getting that win last week. So I still think I'm gonna go with a 2-1 Wolves win. And then moving on to Southampton Chelsea. Southampton are apparently going to be playing a back five, which I don't know how that will turn out. And Chelsea have been on some decent form, although they looked a bit shaky against Sheffield. So I don't reckon they'll keep a clean sheet, so I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. And then moving on to Burnley West Brom. I don't think it'll be too boring of a game, purely because I think both teams will know how much this game is a must win. So I don't know. I think because obviously if Burnley win, then they'll be pretty. I reckon they'll be safe from relegation, and if West Brom win, obviously that'll be a massive back step for Burnley. But I'm going to go with a 2-1 Burnley win. I think they'll edge it. And back to you, Matty, with the second half of Saturday's games.
Yes, so we're going to start with a huge game in Liverpool-Everton. Now, for this game, we all know how Liverpool have been on really bad form recently and how they have lost the spot in the top four. And Everton have been doing really well recently. And Everton, if they win their games in hand, go ahead of Liverpool comfortably. So this game I think it's going to be a really entertaining game. Well, I'm not saying entertaining, but close. I do think Everton will squeeze this game 2-1, but it could go either way. It depends if the Liverpool team show up on the day, because they're really inconsistent at the minute. But I do think Everton will win this game 2-1. Now, Fulham Sheffield United. This game, Fulham have been on good form recently, and new striker Josh Madge has been doing really well. He's creating a lot of chances, and he's scored a couple as well. I think Fulham will win this game 2-0. Sheffield United, I can't see scoring, and one of their main centre-backs is now being injured as well. And for the last game, I'm going to say West Ham Spurs. I think this game will be 2-2. Not quite as dramatic as the first time they played, but again, another decently high scoring draw. I think this game will be 2-2. Brian.
Yeah, for Liverpool Everton, I'm actually gonna go with a Liverpool win. if I'm being honest. Calvert-Lewin's been ruled out for the game, so that's going to be a blow for Everton. I think it might be 3-2 or 2-1. Actually, I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool. I just don't. I think it's going to be close, like you said, but I just think Liverpool are going to edge it. I think they're going to turn up in this game. They always turn up for Merseyside derbies for some reason. I think Divock Origi might come off the bench and score, actually. Knowing Divock Origi, so yeah. Fulham, Sheffield United. I feel like if Sheffield United lose this game, they're definitely going to get relegated. It's a must-win for them. And Fulham, if they're going to close the gap, then they're going to have to win as well. It's a real 6-point game. I have a feeling it's going to be like a 1-1 draw. I don't know why. I can just see this happening so much. Yeah, 1-1. I can't see anything. And West Ham Tottenham. I mean, I love Tottenham. It's my favourite team, but I just expect us to lose. I don't know. I just don't see a draw even coming out of this game. I feel like it's going to be 2-1 West Ham. Yeah, 2-1 West Ham. And over to Ruth with his prediction.
Alright, so Liverpool-Everton. As Brian said, Calvert-Lewin is ruled out for this game, which I think will be a massive blow for Everton. And Liverpool always do perform in this derby, so I'm going to go for 2-1 Liverpool win. I think Everton won't be good enough going forward without Calvert-Lewin. And then moving on now to Fulham-Sheffield. I agree with Brian. If Sheffield don't win this, I think they're all but down. I think it's a must-win. But taking into account that Fulham have been on some good form, obviously taking points off West Ham and Burnley and beating Everton, I think they will edge this one in a tight affair, 2-1 win. And then final game for this set, I'm going West Ham Spurs, 2-1 Spurs win. I'm going with a bit of an upset here. It's mad to say that West Ham beating Spurs is an upset nowadays, but I think Spurs will come out on top this game. Don't know why, I just have a feeling. But moving over to Matty for the final set of games.
Based on recent form, that was very bold of you, but I am going to go start my final 4 games of the weekend. We've got Aston Villa, Leicester, both pretty good teams this season. I do think this will actually be a relatively boring game though. I think they'll respect each other a bit too much at the back. I'm going to say this will be 1-1. Leicester don't play that entertaining style of football anyway, but yeah, I think this game will be 1-1 in the end. And then moving on to Manchester City, Arsenal, and then United, Newcastle. These 2 games I've gone for very, very bold scores to say the least. For Man City, Arsenal, I have put Man City to win 4-0. Arsenal, they're just not very good. I know they haven't been that bad recently, but City's just another level above. I can't really justify a 4-0, but Arsenal have been getting some decent results. I can't really justify it. I'm going to say 4-0 because saying sensible score predictions aren't getting me any points. And for the Man United Newcastle game, last week I think it was, Spike predicted Man United to win 6-0 against West Brom. And for the same reason, I'm going to go for a random score. I'm going to say Man United is going to beat Newcastle 6-0.
Oh, man. How did that work out for Spike, Matty?
It didn't work out very well at all as they drew 1-1. But this isn't Sam Allardyce. And for Brighton Palace, I think this will actually be a really entertaining game to watch. One to keep an eye on. I think it'll finish 2-2. It could go either way though. But yeah, this is going to finish 2-2. And then my bold prediction's done. Brian, what's your final 4 games looking like?
Yeah, Aston Villa, Leicester, 2-2. I just feel like there'll be goals for some reason, but I don't think it'll be like an end-to-end game. I feel like the chances they create, both teams will be clinical, and then they won't create anything else. So yeah, Arsenal, Man City. I think it's gonna be like a 4-1 or a 3-0. I don't want to put 4-0 because 4-0 is quite harsh. I think you were being very harsh paying 4-0. So I think 3-1 to Man City is gonna happen or something like that. Newcastle and Manchester United. I know I read that the wrong way. I don't really care. Man United to win 3-1. To be fair, I could actually see them even drawing this game, but you know, I'll have faith in Bruno Fernandes to come in clutch again for Man United, the 3-1. And Brighton, Crystal Palace. I think it's going to be a 3-2 to Brighton. I think, well, I predicted Crystal Palace to draw with Burnley last week, and they decided to lose 3-0. So, I mean, I'm from Brighton. They've been in form. Last 6 games unbeaten in the Premier League. They're doing well, and I think it's going to continue. So, over to Ruth. His prediction.
Alright, so Leicester or Villa at Leicester. I think Aston Villa have been not brilliant recently. They've fallen off a little bit. Obviously, they did get that one over Arsenal. They haven't been playing bad, but I see Leicester edging this one. I think Leicester have been a lot better recently, despite not having Jamie Vardy. Obviously beating Liverpool 3-1 last weekend. So I'm going to go for 2-1 Leicester win. And then moving on to City Arsenal. I'm not going as bold as Matty 4-0. I'm only going to say 3-0. Obviously last week you saw Aubameyang get his first Premier League hat-trick. But so we all thought maybe he could be back to his best, but then he missed that sitter against Benfica. So I don't know. I don't see them scoring anyway. I don't see them creating enough chances, considering the form Man City's defence has been on. So yeah, that's why I'm saying 3-0. And then United Newcastle. This should be fairly comfortable for United. They did bounce back well from that 4-0 loss. From that draw to beating Sociedad 4-0, I should say. Which was a very good result considering Sociedad are doing decent in La Liga. So for that reason, I'm saying 3-1. I can see Newcastle scoring a jammy goal, but I don't see them winning or drawing this game. Then finally, Brighton Palace, the so-called derby. I think Palace, I don't know. Zaha's ruled out for the game, and they haven't won a game all season with Zaha in their team. With Zaha not in their team, sorry. And obviously, the last 2 games have been awful, losing 2-0 to Leeds and 3-0 to Burnley. So that's why I'm saying 2-0 Brighton. I think Brighton have picked up their form a little bit and will continue to move on against Palace. And anyway, that has been it for our Premier League predictions. Make sure to go and check out our previous videos we've done this week. And there'll also be a tier list video out soon, so keep an eye out for that one. See you all next time.